Yo, haha. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I really hope. I really do. I really do. Karibu sana, karibu sana. This is Kenya Revolutionary, as you know. My mic is really high. I don't know what's going on, but nevertheless, tutaingia katika mada. Today, what seems to be making headlines right now, at least what grabbed my attention today, is Linturi's impeachment, pending impeachment. Linturi's impeachment pending? That's the question. Or is it just another circus show? Because we know how it happens in Kenya. It might be a trick by these UDA folks just trying to show the public that they're trying to do something about what is perceived to be, some transgressions that were committed by Linturi. I mean, it is going back to him. It's being traced back to him. This whole fake fertilizer saga, okay? And it does not stop there. As you know, Kenya is an agroeconomy, so farming is a big deal. And if you send people some fake fertilizer just because you want to make profit, there will be an outrage, a serious outrage, okay? So the government, in an effort to show the public that they are doing something about it, maybe they've choreographed this whole impeachment process thing. I'm surprised some of the UDA people also wanted Linturi out. But to be fair, there's some people who are part of this government that really wanted Linturi out for their own reasons. I mean, Kalwale, if Kalwale, who's one of the biggest booty leaker for UDA, came out and spoke against Linturi, it's quite obvious that Linturi is messing up. But my question is, my personal question that I would ask my friends at the legislative arm of government. Well, removing Linturi is a good thing, okay? But let's not stop there. We have Murkomen, who's messing up when it comes to roads. I mean, didn't you just see them, JKIA lost power right after he visited the place? Nakhumicha, the lady from the health stuff, who's, the mess that's going on with the doctors. Why is it not being resolved? And again, the buck stops with the president. But if he really wants to convince us that he's fighting corruption and is holding his members of cabinet responsible for their mess ups in government, then these are steps that he should take. Have them resign. After all, we saw him hold a meeting, was it 2 days ago? In an emergency meeting or whatever you want to call it, trying to see how they can mitigate the flooding and all that stuff. So yeah, that's a good step if it's really genuine, but I really doubt if they are going to remove Linturi. But my take is, why stop with Linturi? Let's go for every ministry in this administration that's messing up, okay? And not only that, they just shouldn't be impeached because of their lack of performance or because of incompetence, but there's a lot of cases of corruption, money that has been lost that cannot be accounted for. And again, it shouldn't be just this national government, the administrative part, the national government, Ruto's cabinet that's being impeached. Also, these governors. I mean, yeah, we talked about Sakaja and what's going on up there. I mean, we have Orengo. I mean, all these 47 counties, very few. I doubt if there's any that there's no case of, corruption. Everyone, these guys are. So if we're going to hold people accountable, we need to have a holistic approach. If we are going to purge this system of corruption, okay? We start with the president, we go to these cabinet ministers, we go to this MCAs, county government, and also so forth, so forth, so forth. But anyway, let's get to the matter. Our friend Linturi Let's see what Linturi is all about. I'll play some video just to give you a quick, understanding. See what was going on. I didn't even watch what was going on in the parliament when these proceedings were going on. But I'll just give you an 8-minute video. You have time. I have 1 hour. Okay, so I'll give you an 8-minute video just to get an idea of what people are saying and the process of where these MPs were voting, the ones that voted yay and nay, and all that good stuff. Okay, so here's the video. If you missed it, by the way, the first order of business. If you log in, if you see this, it's the notification. If you get the notification and you can see my face right now, the first order of business is to like the video. Mara moja. Don't wait. Usingoje. Tafadhali. And if you haven't subscribed, it's free. Nakwambia it's free. It's free. And if you want to get in here, get on the comment section. Tell me to drop you the link, and you can get in and give your 5 cents. Apa, it's open for all. Apa tuna ninyo. Atakutaka kusema mambo yako, whatever. But I'll start by this video so we can kind of see what happened in the parliament when the process of voting Linturi, the motion that was brought. Before I do that, I just wanted to read, there's a tweet by, I guess the person who actually introduced this motion was the Bumula member of parliament, Jack Wamboka. Wamboka said he said that he was receiving death threats. Actually, let me show you, because I know you guys are probably thinking I'm making up stuff. Let me just show you guys that tweet real quick. It was a tweet by Cyprian Nyakundi. Cyprian Nyakundi is apparently an investigative journalist or reporter, if you wanted to call him that. And he's really, he's doing a really good job. He's one of those people who are giving us the tea on what's going on in Kenya. I mean, not the Main Street news that are reported, because Main Street news, they don't really give us much. They give us the stuff that people want to know, what the government wants you to see. But Cyprian Nyagudi really digs deep. So let's read about this guy who he says he was receiving death threats after he introduced this motion to impeach who? None other than what's his face? Oh shoot, I can't even talk right now. Mr. Linturi. Okay, Twende. I'll show you this, then I'll nitawachezea your video so we can see the process of which Linturi was being voted off the island, so to speak. Okay. Personally, do I think Linturi will be removed? I don't know, because Linturi has a very, 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 again, we understand this. Ruto appointed people that he thought helped him win the elections. Wale watu walimletea kura. So he rewarded them for the votes that they brought in for UDA by giving them cabinet positions. And you see what happened with Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria, who is, I don't know what to say about Moses Kuria, but I have nothing good to say about Moses Kuria. But all I can say about Moses Kuria is this: he's not competent enough to hold any public office, okay? But yeah, you saw he was the trade minister and he embarrassed the country. Even the US trade, foreign, whatever minister or whatever the case is, refused to meet Moses Kuria because he was embarrassing, okay? So they had to make him the head of, I don't know whatever he does right now, I don't know. So it's the same thing with Linturi. So what I suspect will happen with Linturi is this. First of all, I doubt if he's going to be impeached. And if he gets impeached, the president will probably, he'll shift him to another position, because he has to keep these people who he feels helped him win the election, because he needs them for 2027, even though I think 2027 is probably it's already concluded. I think Ruto is going to win in 2027 unless somebody from nowhere, somebody who really have great influence that message resonates with the people, comes in and really, really put a serious campaign and removes Ruto. Other than that, Ruto 2027 is express. Raila Odinga is out of the way. He's not even talking about anything. I heard he said something about Ruto. I have to find that. If you have that information, can you please show me in the chat, please, so I can play it? As you know, people are saying Raila cannot speak because he has food in his mouth. So anyway, let's get to this, okay? Like the video, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and comrades. And if you're watching on X, go to my YouTube and subscribe, share, like, comment, and all that good stuff, okay? All right, Twende. Let me show you that message that I was talking about. Twende. Ndio hiyo basi. So here it is very quickly. Siple Nakundi, that's April 27, 5 days ago, right? Mnaiona kwa screen. All right. So let me just read it for you real quick as we move on. Bumola, Member of Parliament, Jack Wamboka, says he is now receiving death threats after filing motion to impeach Agriculture CS Mithika Linturi over fake fertilizer saga. All right? So that's what's happening. That was 5 days ago. But anyway, it seems like the thing went on. So let's go to Miguna's page. I want to see what he had to say about something. I think he had something really interesting to say. Let me see here. If I can, he says something interesting. And I'll play the video. There's a video there. All right. Here it is. I will get to that. Not that one right there. Okay. Here it is. Miguna said 5 hours ago, the impeachment of Mithika Linturi is good for democracy, the rule of law, accountability, and for the UDA Kenya to show Kenyans that impunity has no place in its administration. I get what he's saying, but I'm not. It's a show that they're trying to hold people accountable, but to me, that's not enough. I'm sorry. That's not enough. If you really want to hold people accountable, I want to see people like Mike Sonko summoned, not only in court, but in Senate, and ask hard questions. This guy was having an interview with, what's his name? What's his face? This guy, Kifi, whatever his name is. And he was basically saying how he was collecting bribes, and he went to State House and explained to the then president, Uhuru Kenyatta, and William Ruto, the loot that he was collecting from Nairobi every day. Okay, and he's still walking around, with his blings and everything else, and he's working. He's comfortable, He's not answering questions. DCI has not called him. ESCC hasn't called him summon him for some questioning. Every time he goes to court, case in Angushwa, like there's no case there, don't know enough evidence. I mean, what is this? So that's why, even though Miguna thinks, this is a good sign for UDA government to show some signs of accountability, I'm not buying this. That's why I think it's just a circus. It's a circus to kind of show people that they're doing something, but really they're not. We know the people who are the big wigs, like they always say, wacheni kwenda for those small chickens, wale watu naiba kuku. Go for the big guns. Okay? And someone made a point. I think someone made a really, I read a tweet somewhere where someone said, the problem with Kenya is that if you go for the big guys, these so-called leaders, these politicians, these members of the political elite class of Kenya, if you go for them, people will defend them. For example, if the ESCC was to go and get Raila Odinga and Kenyatta and arrest them and question them on how they got acquired their wealth, the Luo community and the Kikuyu community will be out on the streets, burning things down, protesting, saying that their community is being targeted. We saw this with Matiang'i. So that is part of the problem. We are part of the problem because these guys, they go up there, they acquire this ill-gotten wealth at the expense of the taxpayers, want to become multi-dollar billionaires, and they are basically above the law. And if you attempt to go after them, just like the Moi family, the Kenyatta family, all these people, if we try to go after them, you'll see members of their community who view them as the regional tribal kingpin will go out there and riot and trying to intimidate government, since we have governments that are not popular and are threatened by any kind of protestation by the Wananchi. If they see any kind of protest, they will probably stop the case just because they fear catching a backlash. So we need a government that is fearless, that has the people's will, that can go after the bigwigs, starting from the Kenyatta family, Moi family, Kibaki family, Ruto family, everybody. Kila mtu aeleze walipata mali yao vipi. And if there was corruption in the administration, they should be held liable. The Constitution is very clear, Article 226(5). I always quote it here every time. Any public official who is current and previous, if they misappropriated any funds, public funds, they are liable to pay for it as a person. No, wanaweza kulipa. That's why this debt that we have acquired, Ruto went to ask World Bank to give him, I don't know how many trillion Kenyan shillings to help with climate change. What kind of, anyway, that's another story for another day. Let's deal with this Linturi first, okay? So that is what Miguna was saying. He was saying the impeachment of Mithika Linturi is good for democracy, the rule of law, accountability, and for the UDA Kenya to show Kenyans that impunity has no place in its administration. I disagree. I mean, it's good. It's a good gesture, but it doesn't really mean that this UDA government are really trying to hold people accountable. Again, the key word is to show people. Show people. There's one thing to show people, and there's one thing to actually do it for the right reasons. You don't do things just to show people that, oh, you're holding people accountable. Do it for the right reasons. Do it because you are doing it for the love, for the love of the country, for justice purposes, and for it to help the Wananchi. Your pesa inambayo inabibiwa, you cannot defraud people. Linturi should be in jail. But let me show you, let me play that clip. Ladies and gentlemen, clip of what was going on here. I'm not going to play this. Let me play the other one. Let me play it right now. Are you ready? All right, people. Make sure you like the video, Enjoy your bus. Let me play the actual video as you guys, more people are joining. Let me see. Let's the video. The video is right there. Hi, Linturi. So, and my other question is this. Why stop with Linturi? Why stop with Linturi? Let's finish this first.
Order. Member for Busia. I don't know what has been exciting you the whole day. There is no provision in the standing orders for you to clap or to jump or to shout. Any member whose vote is not recorded and we have the capacity to know, I'll give you an opportunity to register your vote with the clerks. After auditing how you have voted. Order. Order, member for Nandi County. It is out of order to take pictures in the chamber. Order.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum payments could literally keep you in debt for...
That was a commercial. So we can see how many people are voting there. Now, let me forward it a little bit.
This is a vote that has a critical threshold. Once we have reached the threshold, it matters not whether you voted or not, because that's what it is. Now, the results of the electronic voting is as follows. Order, Honorable Mbadi, you are lucky the bars are drawn. You would have walked out. The results of the vote are as follows. Ayes 149. Order, the noes 36. Abstentions 3. The threshold required to carry the vote is 117. So the vote is carried. The ayes have it. Order, take your seats. Order. Order. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, I have a short communication. Following the resolution of the special motion, order. Order, honorable members. Following the resolution of the special motion under order number 13 relating the removal of Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi from the office of the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development pursuant to Article 152(6) of the Constitution, I wish to guide the House on the next process as envisaged in the Constitution and our standing orders. Honorable members, Article 152(7) of the Constitution requires that, and I quote, if a motion under Clause 6 is supported by at least 1/3 of the members of the National Assembly, the Assembly shall appoint a select committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter, and the select committee shall within 10 days report to the Assembly whether it finds the allegations against the Cabinet Secretary to be substantiated. As you can see, honorable members, the Constitution is unequivocal in the procedure to be followed after a decision is made by the House at each stage of the process. The next step to be taken, therefore, is the appointment of members to a select committee to investigate the matter. Honorable members, in this regard, I hereby direct that the parliamentary parties in the House expeditiously nominate members to serve in the select committee and submit the names to the office of the Speaker for honor transmission to the Committee on Selection. Thereafter, the Committee on Selection ought to expedite its consideration of the names and bring the relevant motion to the House for approval so as to commence consideration of this matter. For clarity, and in line with the communication issued on Wednesday, 25th October 2023, relating to the leadership in the House, membership to the Select Committee will be distributed as follows. The Majority Party, 6. The Minority Party, 4. Jubilee Party, 1. In nominating the members, parties are to ensure that the nominees to the committee reflect the diversity of the House, including regional and gender considerations. I hasten to remind the House that the process envisaged under Article 152(7) is quasi-judicial in nature. The process is an important component of the accountability and oversight frameworks provided in the Constitution and requires not only diligence and conscientious, but also greater thresholds of impartiality, fairness, integrity, and independence in the performance of this function. Order. In conclusion, honorable members, it should be noted, as stated above, that the Constitution requires the Select Committee to conduct investigations and report back within 10 days. In this regard, the parties should provide to me the names of their nominees not later than today, Thursday, 2nd May 2024, and to be precise, I need those names before 1:45. Thereafter, the House will sit to consider the nominees to the Select Committee during the afternoon sitting. The committee selected It's not the committee of the Speaker or the majority or minority leaders, it's the committee of the House. So the names once brought, we will subject them to a vote by the House, and thereafter we'll give further direction to the committee on how they'll conduct the matter.
Oh, okay, so very quickly before I proceed, it's almost over this video. Actually, it's almost over. But basically, what Swetangula is telling us is that the vote took place. It was 140 something, 139, I think 137 was something. What was the number? 36, and then 3 abstained from voting. So the next step is to vote for an 11 panel members of a commission that will probe into the matter further to see, investigate to see actually if there's real evidence that Linturi actually is involved in this. The evidence that will substantiate this motion, that will give it a reason as to why Linturi should be impeached. And that should take place, well, as you heard Mr. The Speaker there explain that 11-member panel of this commission, that they'll House commission that are going to be selected are supposed to be, the names should be there before 1:45 that afternoon. This happened hours ago. I'm late on this, but I'm just explaining that before the day ends, they're going to select this 11-member panel of this commission. Then this commission, once they are chosen, and it should be gender, whatever, all that nonsense, where 6 of them will be for the ruling party. I think 4 of them are from the opposition. Then Jubilee is independent. They'll have 1 member, okay? Then after this is done, the commission will have 10 days to come up with a report to see in the investigation, see what the probing yielded, okay? To see if there's hard evidence to prove that this man should be impeached. So 10 days from today is what? Next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So not the coming Monday, but the following Monday, we should have a clear indication if Linturi will be impeached or not. Now, here's what's going to take place. This is where it gets kind of tricky and murky. Let me remove this so you can see me. So this is where it's going to get really tricky, okay? Now that this has been done, the onus, Linturi's life as the CS of agriculture really depends on this 11-member panel. And this is Kenya. Let's not fool ourselves. A few phone calls and a few a few dollars or Kenyan shillings can really save your life. And I think Ekuru Okot alluded to this in his tweet, where he mentioned that let me just read it so you can get the actual. I don't want to misquote him, but what he was basically saying is, it won't be out of the realm of imagination if Linturi, once he finds out who this 11-member panel are of this commission, he can give them a call and, offer them some goodies, money or whatever the case, for them to save his life. Because, it all depends on this 11-member panel, this commission. If they come up and say, we've done our investigation, we've probed, and nothing seems to be, there's nothing substantial that would suggest that Linturi can be kind of held responsible for this fake fertilizer issue. So Ekuru Okot said the spotlight is now on the parliamentary committee. I won't be surprised by the outcome. money talks. I agree. Like I say, it all comes down to 11 people. Now, the UDA folks, yes, they were part of the 149 that voted, like for impeaching, Linturi, but the 11-member panel of this commission, 6 of them will coming from the UDA, or let me say Kenya Kwanza, who I believe Linturi might have great influence on them. Probably with Jubilee too, because Jubilee has will have one of their members of parliament to be part of this committee. So let's say 6 + 1 is 7. So 7 out of this 11 already Linturi, Linturi being UDA, and these guys are from are Kenya Kwanza friendly. He can easily influence them and say, hey, listen, we are UDA, tumepitia mambo mingi. Come on, guys, I'll send you guys kitu kidogo, okay? Then the 4 members from Azimio, the opposition, are also in this panel. And Kenyan politicians are, they're out there to be bought and sold, okay? So let's see. The Monday after next Monday is when we'll find out Linturi's fate. I won't hold my breath. To me, like I said, this might be a circus just to show, Linturi will go through this and the committee will come back and say, we don't have enough evidence to actually, impeach this guy. Then the president will come out and say, you see, democracy works. Mulienda mkajaribu kuimpeach. We dug into the evidence and there's nothing there. So, you see, democracy works. Linturi is a good man. Aendelee na kazi. That's the circus that we have in Kenya. But let's see what happens. That's why I ask, why stop with Linturi? There's so many cases, people who we know. I mean, Rafael Tuju, there's a video recording of Rafael Tuju, okay, talking about bribing the 4 members, the Cherera 4 IEBC members, okay? There's a audio evidence of Rafael Tuju talking to Cherera 4 members, audio proof. But Rafael Tuju is walking around, somebody who's trying to subvert the democratic process. He's walking around free. Nobody cares. Mike Sonko, we know this guy is walking around with cash, says publicly, okay, on camera, telling us that he was receiving bribes. He's cut and met the president of the nation and the deputy at the time, telling them about these bribes. He's walking free and he still has money and is bragging about money. That's the country we live in. Marangapi Mike Sonko has been taken to court for easy stories za kuiba pesa, money laundering and all that nonsense, but not enough evidence. That's why when I heard that EACC guy and DCI guy, whatever the person is, talking about tutashika we are coming for you, we know about them. Orengo's deputy came out and told us this guy is anachukua pesa Impress account, 900 million even in one day. Yeah, Orengo is walking around. In fact, he's the one who's talking about how there'll be a billionaire in CI and all this nonsense. Sakaja is out there doing his thing. Anaiba left, right, and center. Allegedly gave 200 million to Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga hasn't come and refuted that claim. Yeah, he hasn't sued Nyakundi for saying that stuff if it was lie. Yeah, and we know Sakaja ameiba pesa huku. He's walking around. Hajaitwa kwa Senate. He said he never even showed up. That's where I ask, where those people, Sifuna, ask Sifuna, ile story ya Sakaja kwenda kwa Senate ku answer question iliendaje? Has it been postponed? Hiyo maneno imeisha tu hivyo. So it actually confirms what Nyakundi was saying is true, because Nyakundi said Sakaja went to Raila, akampatia Raila 200 million to tell the MCS to be quiet about your stories za ku impeach Sakaja. And you remember Sifuna used to tell us, hey, Sakaja needs to come to the Senate to answer questions. Sa hiyo story ya answer questions iko wapi? Si limeisha hivyo, just fizzled out like that. No one is talking about Sakaja anymore. Story imeisha. Sasa story ni Linturi. Okay? Ian Waiguru, pesa NYS, sijui nini, stole money during Uhuru's time. Guess what? She's the head of the governors now. I mean, what is this? Then you tell me this is accountability. This is just a circus. That's why I'm with the Kuru Court in this. I will not be surprised, if this Linturi walks free. Atarudi kazini. Hii mambo utasikia hii panel ya 11 members panel commissioners committee. Watarudi hapo watasema tujapata kitu, tumefanya investigations, tumeangalia hii kitu haikurudi kwa Linturi. Linturi arudi kazi. Go back to work, Linturi. Because as I mentioned, the rot starts at the head. If the head is rotten, everything else downwards is rotten. So if the president mwenyewe is corrupt, what do you expect? And it didn't start with him. He is part of the corrupt system. Yali pata kama, in fact, he was the deputy of Uhuru when Uhuru alikuwa napora mambo yake. Uhuru alikuwa kwa serikali ya nani? Hiyo ya Moi. Kibaki nani? What's his name? Uhuru was in serikali ya Kibaki as the visit finance minister. So they are in a system of corruption, from years of corruption. So you don't expect them to become president and start doing the right thing. They won't. They're all rotten. Ruto from the Moi days, Kenyatta from the Nenio. Yeah, Kenyatta is hereditary. Babake was the first president of Kenya and was corrupt, as I played the Nenio of the video yesterday. Waliiba, that's how they acquired their wealth. So the corruption is in his blood. And carried it down to Moi. Moi nani akalan from Moi, Ruto. And nani, once Kenyatta kapata was an adult, Kibaki, his godfather, so to speak, akamwandika kazi as finance minister, wakaiba. We remember the typo incident? So these people have been in the corrupt system, and these are the people who become president. And you expect them to fight corruption. No, they won't. Easy Linturi is just a circus for us to enjoy. Oh yeah, the government is doing something about corruption. No, they're not doing anything for it. Hii ni circus tu. Your commissioner atakuja hapo atarudi. Same with the opposition. Same with Raila Odinga and all these members of opposition. These people are paid to do this, to be the part of the system. They're comfortable. That's why they always fight for their position as a member of the opposition. There's nothing they'll do. Nobody. If we are really serious about fighting corruption and holding people accountable, Ruto should not be in office right now. Ruto should not be in office right now. He should have been impeached by now. If you're members of parliament, if the legislative body was serious about accountability and the rule of law, Ruto will not be the president right now. And I'm not saying that because he lost lost the election. No, he did not lose the election. He won the election. But based on his performance, he is not fit to be the president of Kenya. And his gross misconduct, easy loans ambayo anachukua without illegally acquired these loans. I'm not even going to his scandals ambayo alikuwa nazo before he became president. If we are serious about that, we should not have Ruto as the president of Kenya. And we should not have these people in the opposition. Babu Wino should be in jail. Raila should not be in opposition. He should be in Kodiaga prison. If you are really real about accountability. Kenyatta should not be running around in South Africa to observe the elections. Kenyatta should be in prison right now, serving life sentence with no possibility of parole for treason. If you are serious about accountability, but then we are not. Ni mchezo, ni mchezo, na ni mchezo, na ni mchezo. It's a game. But it's by design. That's why the West are going. Ruto is going to address the Congress, US Congress, the second African head of state to address the Congress. He has been invited. Why are they inviting him? Because I told you, he is their puppet. Their number one puppet. Look at Kenya. The parastatals saizi watu zinapeanwa tu ninio. Watu wanafutwa kazi. Why? Because the West, the IMF, the World Bank are telling you, this is what you have to do. So you have to understand this. This is just Linturi's, I call it Linturi's circus show. In fact, I should have had the headline called Linturi's circus show. Unaona watu wanapiga wakina Mbadi, stupid. What is Mbadi? To be fair to Mbadi, Mbadi is a smart man. He's one of those people who they're smart, but compromised. In fact, most of these guys are compromised. Even Ruto is a smart guy, smart. Akuna akili, mwerevu. He's not stupid. Ruto is not stupid by no means. Don't think he's stupid. He's not. Very smart, speaks well, but he's compromised. He's corrupt. Kenyatta, I can't say he's smart. Kenyatta was just a drunk. Uhuru Kenyatta was a drunk. Ako na akili. Huyo jamaa anavuta bangi na pombe. Raila is street smart. I'll give him that. Kwa kitabu sijui kaa kitabu wako fiti. But he's street smart. He can, which is a form of intelligence. Give him that. But he is a con man. That's why he knows how to con you. Najifanya is member of commission. So these people are not stupid, as you might think. They're just corrupt. Wanajiangalia wenyewe. Umesikia Raila akiongea kweli? But this is what I'm talking about. Hizi ni sarakasi. Hizi ni sarakasi ambao wa Kenya. If you're stupid, you're going to believe, oh, jamaa, yeah, the administration is doing something. No. Nothing. Linturi will be free. And if he even na akitolewa, guess what's going to happen? Atapewa cheo wengine. Watampatia ka, something after he leaves. So hii ni sarakasi. That's why I say, why stop with Linturi? Murkomen is, angalia tu if there's one person who exposed Murkomen is Larry Madowo, whatever the case is, the guy from CNN. Your story JKA is enough to get Murkomen impeached. Story Maninio Madaktari is enough to get that Susan Kihika, not Kihika, Nakhumicha, whatever head, the one who the speaker should be removed. I mean, what more can we want? At what point? Now, in fact, this is the question now for all Kenyans. This is the questions now we should ask ourselves. We know these leaders are corrupt. We know they're corrupt, whether it's the opposition, whether it's the government, whether it's what. At what point? This is the question. This is what I want to pose to you. At what point will Kenyans decide that enough is enough? Again, I will say it again. At what point are we Kenyans going to decide that enough is enough? Tumetosheka. Umetufinya, 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 umetufinya. Tumechoka. Now it's time to push back and fight for our sovereignty, for justice, what really belongs to us. At what point? Mnangoja nini ifanyike ndio mseme, ai, imetosha. Hawa wakina Raila, hawa wakina Ruto, hawa wakina Uhuru, mmetucheza ya kutosha. It's enough. It's time to reclaim what is ours as the people, the sovereign people of Kenya. At what point? Mnangoja nini? What else can they do for you to say imetosha sasa? Kuna tax wameleta hapa. Okio Mtata wrote this. Niwasomea tax inaletwa kwa ile the next year's finance bill italetwa June ya 2024 2025 or whatever the case is. I'll read it to you. Ni ya magari. Niwasomee ama niwaache? Should I? The point I'm trying to make is this. Hao watu wanatufinya. Na hii kwanza ndio maana mimi nasema, that's why I usually say Uhuru, Raila and nani and huyu Ruto, all of them are complicit in this crime. All of them. Hao watatu especially, and all their minions that work under them. And when I say minions, when I say Raila, I mean everyone in Azimio, including Martha Karua. Msijidanganywe na Martha Karua anajifanya ati, I'm not recognizing Ruto is not a president. Martha Karua, she's the constitutional justice minister, alifunga nani? There was there even one person who was prosecuted for violating the constitution or for corruption. That's what I mean. For how long? That's the swali nataka. Moving forward, what must these people do for you to say enough? Ama we bado your mind is colonized by these people. Unafikirie Uhuru will remove Ruto and Uhuru will come back as a prime minister and will help Kenya. Look at our lives under Uhuru Kenyatta. Was it better off? Look at Raila Odinga. Kama Sakaja anampatia 200 million ananyamaza, hataki kuondoka kutoa Sakaja. So unafikiria atatoa Ruto? Na huyu Ruto huyu alikuwa anatuambia sijui hasla. Si tulimjua kutoka siku za Moi. Maendeleo gani ameleta? What project has he done? Tax after tax after tax after tax. Kila mtu anaiba. Murkomen anaiba. And they are showing it in your face. Murkomen anatembea na saa ya milioni sijui 6. Linturi amejenga manyumba na sijui nini. Sudi siku hizi ukimwona na suti ya 1000 sijui ngapi. Hata ako kwa State House anatembea. Engineer mwenyewe. Na taxes wanazidisha. Taxes inaenda juu. Taxes. Ngoja ile financial bill inakuja. Hata ukipumua tu tax. Ngoja. Mtafinywa. Because we are under SAPS. I'll show you the ninio. As nimebaki na dakika 15-10 hapa hivi. Wacha nionyeshe your tweet. I'll show you. If you go to Miguna's page, utaona hiyo ninio I'm saying. We are basically under SAPS. And you know what SAPS mean? Structural Adjust Program, which means to funge belt. To funge belt. That's why you see wanakata in the civil service, wanakata watu, wanachujwa. Hamtakuwa na kazi. Will be a beggars ninio. Ndio maana unaona Ruto anauliza pesa ya 16 trillion from the World Bank. Na hiyo 16 trillion haitafikia wananchi. 16 trillion itaenda kwa accounts ya hawa watu wote, hawa wakina Raila, Uhuru, Ruto. That's why I ask you, at what point will you say enough is enough? Hizi shenanigans ya kina Linturi, Murkomen, anaenda hapo anajifanya ati anaangalia vitu. Uliwaona Labor Day? Huyu nani? Mzee anasemanga shenzi. What is his name? What is this? What's his name? What's this mzee's name? Labor Kotu member. Huyo mzee should be kwa nyumba ya wazee. the most corrupt people ndio unaona wanasimama hapo Labor Day wanatuambia ati labor sijui nini ni labor nini. Tell me what right does a Kenyan have, or Kenya laborer in Kenya has? From the way they are getting paid to the working conditions. Na unaona kotu member amekaa hapo na hiyo. Mimi nakwambia, anyway, that's what I'm telling you. Mimi nataka tu mmeanze kufikiria at what point, unajua tumezoea one thing tumekuwa programmed as Kenyans to accept mediocrity na hiyo ujinga na ufala. So when we see these things happen, we are just like, ebu cheki, tears in my eyes, sijui nini. We accept this as the norm. Kudanganywa is part of the program. But it's getting to a point where watu wanazidi kufinya. Unaona wanafinya. Na wakiona mreact mnasema mnafinywa. More taxes. Shamba yako ukiwa nayo mpaka ulipe tax. Watazidisha pale. Ukijenga nyumba, tax. Ukinunua gari, tax. Ukifanya hivi, tax. At what nini? What will drive Kenyans into asking themselves, you know what? Hii ujinga tumechoka. Turn on them. Remember, lawfully, the people are sovereign. We are a democratic what? Constitution. Constitutional democracy. The sovereign power lies with the people. So when the majority of the people get together and decide to exercise their sovereign authority, Ruto, Raila, Uhuru will have nothing to say but bow to the power of the people. Because legally we have that authority. But as long as you're looking at these clowns, calling them leaders, and clapping when they speak in public, like huyu mshenzi wa Sakaja huyu alikuwa anaongea jana na unasema sijui nini, and this court leader, and you're clapping, watazidi kuwafinya na watawafinya. More taxes. Corruption. Let's enda kasikia nani. Go listen to that clip by nani. By Mbuvi. Jamaa anapata 50 million leo, 80 million leo from Nairobians. And look at people how they're living in Kibera. And this guy is getting 50 million every day. And he's not being prosecuted. Nairobians should be on the streets burning down everything that belongs to the government, including Sakaja. If you had some sense. As long as you look at these corrupt people, calling them leaders, tribals, kings, kingpins, nini, I've asked you, at what point will you say enough is enough? Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, as I conclude, all this Linturi impeachment thing is a circus show by this corrupt government and the opposition. I'm not buying one bit. But the question of the day is, at what point shall we say enough is enough? Until then, we'll be here every day lamenting, complaining, bitching about how they are fucking us over and over and over. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, this is Kenya Revolutionary. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Share, comment, like, and I will see you next time. Peace.